What is going on, guys and girls? It is GhostRobo, and we are here checking out Lollipop Chainsaw from E3 2012 in Los Angeles. This was the about 10-minute demo, 8 to 10-minute demo, available on the show floor for all to play. There were two sections, this one being the sort of opening tutorial intro section, learning the combat, learning the game, figuring things out. And if there's one word to describe this game, that word is definitely insane, freaking insane, because it's super fun, but super crazy, and it's such a game. It's so, you know, it's so made by Suda51. You know, it's so made by Grasshopper. You know, it's so made by the people that brought you No More Heroes and some of the people that brought you Shadows of the Damned. It has complete craziness in the dialogue, in the combat, in the aesthetic, and just the whole structure of the way things are carried out. You know, you're fighting as this cheerleader with a chainsaw and with pom-poms to start out. I assume you'll get more weapons as things go along, but you're basically saving the world from the zombie apocalypse straight from your high school, as you can see, donning your cheerleader outfit, collecting lollipops for health, and creating beautiful rainbowy stars as you take down zombies. Now the game, as you can see right there, goes all out and tries to be completely risque, crazy, gory, all the above. It was super fun. It's kind of a heavier combo system game. It's not as light as something else like a Bayonetta or Devil May Cry. The attacks feel heavier, and rightfully so. You're carrying a giant freaking, you know, blood-gushing chainsaw, and you had pom-poms, you had chainsaw, you had a dodge and a jump in the build that I played. Now, obviously, you'll be getting more weapons along the way, but in the opening area, they kind of wanted to train you with these. There's kind of a arena system going on, at least in the opening here, where it'll be like, oh, there's 8 zombies in the area, kill them all, and then something will happen and allow you to progress. This bus crashes, we kill the 5 zombies, then we can hop over it. The zombies themselves are pretty aggressive. I mean, there are some crawlers, but for the most part, they really come at you pretty hardcore, which I like, because then it's not just like, oh, go in there and wail on them. It creates more of an action game feel where you're actually having to dodge, you're actually having to create cool combos. And I was just messing around. It's a little bit button mashy, but again, this is the opening area. You really didn't have a whole lot of attacks. I'm sure you'll gain quite a bit along the way. It does feel quite a bit like No More Heroes in the sense that you're mixing some quick time events with some combat, but I feel like it's a little bit more polished. I feel like it's a little bit more, I don't want to say advanced, but that's the word that comes to mind, just because you have, I feel like, a wider range of attacks than you had with Travis Touchdown in the Wii games. And the aesthetic, I really like it. It's sort of like old-fashioned comic booky. I was surprised how cel-shaded the actual game looks. It's not really as 3D as you may... I mean, it's still 3D, obviously, but not as, like... It's way more cel-shaded than you may think, and hopefully this video gives you a good sense of that. But I really like the overlays, how it's like this old-fashioned comic book look. And, again, they keep everything just turned up to 11 all the time, with crashes and fire and flames and blood and super short skirts and lollipops and stars. And you'll see later on in the video some of the crazy combos I get, and I wasn't even sure during this demo how I specifically activated these, but it creates like these super, right here, there we go, perfect, sparkle hunting, 3 zombies, and I collect 9 bronze coins and 1 silver coin. I'm guessing those will be used in some sort of store for health pickups or for new attacks or things of that sort. And the promise of all this insanity as the game progresses and builds has me really excited. Now, in this opening area, it kind of feels a little bit simplistic. It's just some combo-based combat and some craziness, but you know that things are going to advance and build. This is just being the tutorial area, and control-wise, which I guess is what you would really want to analyze in this opening section, it feels really good. You have full control. It doesn't feel sluggish. It doesn't feel sloppy. It doesn't feel like you're struggling against the camera. And it was genuinely fun to face off against these just generic zombies. There wasn't really any boss characters or anything really except just, you know, your vanilla foes, but there's still a whole lot of fun to bash around. And again, it's a visual feast in terms of they make everything look very spectacular, very cinematic, very crazy. This here, I activated some sort of super move. I went, you know, the cheerleader version of Super Saiyan, and am taking down more zombies. I'm guessing you're just a little bit more powerful. Again, you know, you walk up, you play the game. It's a kind of a weird experience being at E3, something I will talk about in other videos, but just the strangeness of how different it is to kind of go play a game, just walk up and play it. Like, you don't buy it, you don't sit down with it, you don't like, oh, get all settled, just like, boom, you're next in line, go. And it's super exhilarating, super fun, but sometimes, like, you wonder why people aren't as good at games like at these places, and the reason, I think, is because you're just supposed to step up there and go, and it's actually a really cool, like, good one take on the game. You get a very fresh sense of how the game plays and how it is, and there's really no I think it creates a pretty fresh expectation, like slate. Like they're really, you just step up there and play, and I think that's a really cool thing about E3. And the really cool thing about my first hands-on with Lollipop Chainsaw, it had pretty good buzz. There were a lot of people there who were just walking up like, oh, I've heard about this game, or oh, I think it looks really cool, or oh, just like, oh, have you heard about the game? No, but I just thought it looked awesome. Just watching people play, it's a very, very catching. I let the poor dude die. I'm not sure if he was supposed to die, because here he transforms into crazy zombie Kevin, or whatever his name is, and has a higher health meter. Not really a boss, just a more durable zombie force. I will say that I hope that the game does evolve, like I mentioned, and give a little bit more variety instead of just combat throughout. I'm not sure how it'll all take place, but I'm guessing with bosses and with new areas and with new power-ups and acquisitions of abilities, it will form into a much more full game. I'm super excited to play this on Tuesday. I like it a lot already. It's a spectacular visual feast. I think it'll be a great fun game to watch, and I hope you guys enjoyed this look from E3 2012. Thank you very, very much for watching. Stay tuned for the full walkthrough beginning on Tuesday. It should be a very good one. Have a fantastic day, guys and girls. Drink some hot chocolate or some frozen lemonade. Watch out for lollipops and evil cheerleaders. Until next time, we'll see you all later.